Pirates are back home, PNC Park. First of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds as Billy Hamilton and the Reds take on Garrett Cole and the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the start of a 7-game homestand. Folks, attending fireworks night tonight and Major League Baseball, Pirates Reds included, raising awareness for the fight against childhood cancer, wearing gold ribbons. The players and we are wearing those gold ribbons. Glad you could be with us. Greg Brown, Steve Blass, and Robbie Ince-Mikowski. Steve, tonight Garrett Cole on the mound. Last time out Saturday, matched up against tonight's starter Luis Castillo. He pitched one of his better ball games of his career.
Absolutely. It's every pitcher's dream is to pitch a shutout and hit a home run, and that's exactly what he did. The breaking ball down. I love this off-speed curveball. You don't see that enough, I think, from Garrett Cole, but it's a good weapon. And then just tying him up inside. He was just absolutely dominant against a good hitting team in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. So you hope that he just does exactly the same and has the same kind of success. But as you said, against Luis Castillo, he's going to have to be at his best.
Well, a guy that has been at his best since really we saw him debut last year, that's Josh Bell. Now, this is his rookie season. He is putting up numbers, Steve, that we're talking about record book numbers. Our Barrel Automotive Stat Pack, we take a look at where he ranks currently among National League rookies. Just a sensational first full year in the big leagues.
Yeah, up and down the chart. And to be honest with you, Greg, I didn't see this coming when this season started, but he has evolved in a very, very consistent hitter. It's pretty loaded heavily as a left-hand batter, but it doesn't matter when you put up those kind of numbers. So he's done a great job. Not only that, but he is fun to watch. He's all over the plate. He's got great body control, and he's having a lot of fun this year.
He really is. Fun to watch. Fun to watch the Pirates and the Reds get ready to play baseball from PNC Park. Game 1 of this 3-game series is coming up next. is a Friday Night Rocks, and that is Eternal Boy, our featured group, brought to you by IC Light. Garrett Cole taking the mound, looking for win number 12 and looking for back-to-back victories over the Cincinnati Reds. Check out the Cincinnati lineup. Brian Price is their skipper. And Billy Hamilton, despite relatively low on base percentage, will still lead off. And it's Zach Cozart, the opposite of Hamilton when it comes to on base percentage, is Joey Votto. You see his career at PNC Park, good numbers. He'll be followed by Adam Duvall and Scooter Gennett, Eugenio Suarez at third, Scott Schebler in right field with Stuart Turner behind the plate, and Luis Castillo.
Garrett Cole making start number 28. There are 28 games remaining in the regular season. And coming off that very, very impressive work in Cincinnati. Just hope he picks up where he left off.
And underway. Ball one to Billy Hamilton. Batting average sitting at .246. One of the ways the Pirates, maybe a main reason the Bucks were able to win 2 of 3 in Cincinnati last weekend, was holding this guy in check. He was just 2 for 13 in that 3-game series.
That's been a theme for the Reds as long as he's been there. Billy Hamilton sets the table.
300 career hitter against Cole, and the strike is called.
Greg, when I look at this matchup, Cole against this team, yeah, they've got a good hitting lineup, but I think the keys are Billy Hamilton and Joey Votto.
There's an off fastball that was really folding Hamilton there. 2-2. You certainly want to keep him off the bases. But he's on, and the game is on. The major league leader in steals, 55 of them. And the Honda defense, Chris Stewart catches Garrett Cole. Josh Bell, Josh Harrison on the right side of the infield. David Freese, Jordy Mercer on the left side. Marte McCutcheon, Jaso in the outfield left to right.
Game on. Cole, Stewart against Billy Hamilton.
Zach Cozart, all-star shortstop, takes the strike.
See if Garrett Cole varies his operational moves, his set of mechanics with Billy there, maybe to disrupt the timing.
Huge lead for him. Huge lead.
Yeah, you have to go over when he's up off that far.
Caught 10 times.
Cole's measuring Billy. Billy's measuring Garrett Cole. Yeah, you can see that again is a big lead. Big lead.
Billy Hamilton is a throwback in terms of just pure base stealer. And the best of all time always would say, you know, you got to get that lead, Steve, to the point where it is really close.
Yep.
Otherwise, your lead isn't big enough.
Yep. You don't want to get back there safely.
Yep. You want to get back there safely, but make it close. And boy, he wanted to go, but as Steve mentioned, just burying that delivery, holding it there for an extra second, that forced Hamilton to shut it down. Opponents have stolen 14 bases in 15 tries with Cole on the mound this season.
And if he's throwing over there to Bell, it's got to be kind of a sweep tag if you want to have any chance of getting it. It can't be a catch.
He goes, pitches in the dirt, and that's not close, and that's into center field. And it is a stolen base and an error on Stewart. And that has been just, it's almost like some of it's bad luck, but you wonder if some of that's not in Stewart's head these days. Getting physical errors and some mental mistakes.
Not even close at second base. And this is Billy Hamilton baseball. And that throw on that side just creates all kind of problems because Josh Harrison has got to be coming across in the path of the runner, and you see the reaction by Chris Stewart. He gets an extra 90 feet because of that. He was going to be second. There was going to be no contest with the steal.
56 steals, 6 errors for Stewart. Nice block there.
Talking with former Pirate Billy Hatcher, third base coach.
And ball 4. Go downstairs to Robbie talking about Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, so you look at Billy Hamilton's cleats, guys. You get a close look right there. He has a couple signatures on his cleats, and those are kids from the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. He paid a hospital visit earlier in the season, and he promised them that he would wear these cleats during the ball game tonight. So there it is, pediatric cancer patients, young kids on Billy Hamilton's cleats tonight. What a nice gesture, Greg.
Absolutely. Great gesture. And the guy stepping up to the plate, Joey Votto. Great gesture yesterday when he hit the home run. You might have gotten a chance to see Votto cracked his 34th home run of the year, and there was a 6-year-old boy right near their dugout battling a form of pediatric cancer. Walter Super Bubs Herbert. And Joey Votto, after hitting the home run, got a high five from him and gave him his batting gloves. And a fly ball hit deep to right center. And Joey Votto is going to drive in at least one. Of course, trotting home from third is Hamilton. It's an RBI double for Votto, his 92nd RBI of the year, and it's 1-0 Cincinnati. Cozart goes to third.
And the disruptive factor of Billy Hamilton gets it all underway. Up and in a danger zone right there, as you see on the W.B. Mason strike zone. A lot of those pitches right there get hit even further out of the ballpark. He didn't get it out because there's a non-helping wind as much as anything. It came that close.
Single, stolen base, error, walk, double. Votto having a better season statistically than the one he had in 2010 when he won the National League's Most Valuable Player Award. And this is going to go out of play. Adam Duvall has driven in 89. Ranks 8th in the National League, 31 homers, tied for 6th.
And already such a different ball game from last Saturday when Cole was, as you said, maybe as dominant as we've seen him. Maybe not just this year, but for a long while. Control the ball game, but the disruption early on.
That was his first career win against Cincinnati. That's hit hard to center. McCutchen back over his head. This will score a couple. And Duvall with the 2-run double. It is 3-0 Reds. '90 and '91 RBIs for Duvall.
Take a look at this location. You see they want it upstairs, but that is center cut, just simply center cut. And this is a good hitting Cincinnati Reds team, and they're on it. And that's another ball that on other nights would be out of here.
There's the breeze blowing in and keeping 2 balls in the ballpark. Scooter Gennett has hit 23 out. Career year for him, 81 ribbies. Nice backhand play, and Bell leads Cole perfectly to the bag. And a little exaggerated cheer for the out. It brings up Eugenio Suarez, and we're going to get to our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Ouch. Rinse and repeat. Well, we got to rinse harder because we're not repeating what happened last Saturday. And new look bullpen, well, we're going to see it. It's just a matter of when. But that's regardless of how far you go anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like Neverauskas is going to get late inning work, maybe where Nicasio was. Now the infield in all the way around, and that's line foul.
Well, they're on these deliveries early on.
Are they ever? Home plate umpire tonight is Ted Barrett. Angel Hernandez is at first. John Tumpane at second. Sean Barber is at third. Barrett is the crew chief. And that man, John Tumpane, drew national headlines last time he was in town, helping save a woman's life. She was threatening to jump off the Clemente Bridge. John Tumpane held her back until help arrived.
Yeah, and John Tumpane absolutely captured everybody after that ball game in the press room with the way he described how that went down, what was going through his mind. It was quite dramatic and really impressive with what he did and how he handled it before, during, and after.
2-2 now on Suarez. His 24 home runs, as Steve mentioned. This is a good hitting club.
6 strikeouts for Garrett last Saturday. He needs one right here. And gets it.
It would be a little mini victory for him if he can strand that base runner at third.
Slider, unhittable, but he gets him to chase after it. And we saw a lot of that last week. It's out of the reach.
Billy Hamilton set the tone, that base hit. Duvall, 2-run double. And Schebler now, 300 career hitter against Garrett Cole.
Greg, is there anybody that gets less credit for having a really good year than Adam Duvall? I mean, he has really done quite a job.
No, all the attention around Votto, but you're right. He's been tremendous, Duvall. And now Cole trying to retire the 7th man in the order, Schebler. Three and one. Cole, 28th start of the year. Last time, the 7 innings of 5-hit shutout ball without a walk in Cincinnati. Struck out 6 and won the game with the home run.
Well, right on that again, but that's the only thing he was going to be able to do on that delivery was pull it foul. Not that he would think of doing anything, but it's interesting watching Duvall at third base because he could almost just stand halfway between home and third with the way David Freese is playing off of the base, but he's not going anywhere. The sound of the ball coming off the bats here in the top of the first is loud. In 2 starts this year, Cole has been much better. You said he's got his first win. He's 1-6, but in 2 starts previous to tonight, 13 innings, just a couple of earned runs, and no decision in last week's win.
So he strikes out the last 2 and does strand the ball at third. Reds get 3. Back for the bottom half of the first inning. The Reds score 3, send 7 men to the plate in the top half of the inning. And we check out the RAV4 starting lineup with Josh Harrison leading off. Last 16 games, a .338 hitter. Starling Marte follows. Then it's Andrew McCutchen and Josh Bell. We talked about the great rookie year for Bell. David Freese at third. John Jaso is in right. Jordy Mercer, Chris Stewart, and Garrett Cole facing one of the really fine young pitchers in the league. He'll be around a long time.
Luis Castillo out of the Dominican Republic, 24 years old, 6'2", 190 pounds, making his 14th start. 2-7, very, very deceptive 1-loss record, 3.26 ERA, save for 1 swing last Saturday night. He basically pitched as good or better than Garrett Cole. He struck out 9 more and he gave up fewer hits, but he made 1 mistake, and Garrett took care of the rest of the program. That's a live arm right there. That's a live arm. Perfect body, 6'2", 190. He's got the power. And way in on the edge. Josh Harrison having himself a real fine year.
Career season in terms of the home runs for Jay Hay, the Cincinnati native.
Again, 98 miles an hour. The only 2 mistakes that Castillo made last Saturday was the pitch to Cole and pitching on the wrong night. It's tough to win when your team doesn't score. That's what they used to say about Bob Gibson. He was so lucky. He always pitched on the night the other team didn't score. That's the kind of luck you want.
14th major league start for Luis Castillo.
Got him from the Marlins this January.
Yeah, interesting journey for Castillo to the big leagues. The Giants signed him as a non-drafted free agent 6 years ago. The Marlins picked him up in the deal for Casey McGee in December of 2014. Ryan Price there on your left with the jacket. Jim Riggleman, his bench coach. That pulled toward the Pirates dugout. Stays 2-2.
We're just working him hard inside, pounding him inside.
Throwing that bat head at the ball and fly out to left.
We've seen that before successfully, by the way.
Reds defensively, Billy Hamilton, don't have to tell you, he can get just about everything out in that outfield. Adam Duvall in left, Scott Schebler in right. Eugenio Suarez, Zach Cozart on the left side, Scooter Gennett, Joey Votto on the right side. Stuart Turner is catching Luis Castillo. Starting Marte in the 2 spot of the batting order. Twelfth time this season he's hit second. There's 100 miles an hour from Castillo.
Lights up the board.
Acquired by the Padres last summer. Deadline deal. And 3-0 now on Marte. Padres got him from the Marlins along with Jared Cozart, Carter Capps, a minor league first baseman, as they sent Andrew Kashner, Colin Ray, another minor league pitcher, to the Marlins. But then when Colin Ray got hurt almost immediately after the deal, the Padres and Marlins traded Ray back from Miami to San Diego, and they got Castillo back in that trade. And he was dealt this winter to the Reds in the Dan Straley trade as he walks Marte and faces Andrew McCutchen.
Well, Greg, you gotta feel that a lot of clubs would give that kind of arm a chance to see if he would figure it out or develop or get things squared away, because it's too good. So not surprising that whenever somebody let him go, he was picked up or included in a package deal.
Cool looking sweater there. Good night for it too.
That is.
Andrew McCutchen glad it's maybe cooling off. Maybe he'll get hot again, because August was not good. Just .222 with 1 homer and 8 RBIs the month of August.
Talk about a roller coaster season. That might have been an example right there, Greg, of that big sweep swing that they said they eliminated, and they did when he was getting into that hot streak. That kind of wave swing.
On to third. And Gennett apparently did not get a grip on the ball. And he had Marte sliding in on him, so the fielder's choice. Almost a double play.
It was certainly hit hard enough to third base to think they had a good chance. It got out to Suarez. The feed was good. Yeah, it just looked like he decided to shut it down. I don't know. Nope.
Maybe just didn't have the good grip. Decided against unloading the throw. So Josh Bell now. 23 home runs. How about that, Steve? That's matching Chipper Jones for the most home runs as a rookie among all time National League switch hitters. Chipper Jones.
That's impressive.
That is really impressive. Chipper Jones hit 23 in 1995, and Josh Bell has hit 23 this season so far.
Just go ahead and take the suspense out of it, Josh. Hit one out of the ballpark right here. Take that lead and get the Pirates back in this one. Castillo has given up 10 in his first 13 starts.
That list. Most homers as a rookie all time among National League switch hitters. We just saw Ian Happ do some damage at Wrigley.
Who are they saying to go back to? Eddie Murray back in the American League with Baltimore.
The comparison that I think Clint Hurdle drew that initially to Josh Bell.
But, Eddie wasn't as much fun to watch as Josh. The way he gets out of the way of the baseball and still hits it.
Rosart for the final out. Buck stranded man. We go to the second. It's 3-0 Cincy.
Scoreless ball game here from PNC Park, and tonight it is childhood cancer night at the ballpark, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have done more than their part. They hosted 25 kids and their families here, and they host them for a very special party, and Pirates players and coaches also took place in a head shaving event that took place prior to the ball game. It was catcher Chris Stewart along with other Pirates, Jameson Taillon, Stephen Brault. There's Stu getting his head shaved. Also bench coach Tom Prince. Elias Diaz was a part of it as well. Euclides Rojas, a bunch of them. Look at that, the kids dressed up as superheroes, getting a nice shave there on Jameson Taillon. Now, for every head shaved, Pirates Charities makes a donation to the St. Baldrick's Foundation and their mission to conquer childhood cancers. Now, the Pirates, talking about that party, it was a superhero-themed VIP, standing for a very important pirate party for kids battling cancer and their families. And we'll see a little bit of shots of these kids before the ball game. They all wear their capes. They threw out a special first pitch there from Kelly Fry from WTAE. We wish her the best of luck in her battle with breast cancer. And it's really cool stuff what the Pirates were able to do before the game. They're enjoying the game right now. The kids and their families are in a World Series suite while eating a custom-created dinner. As if that's not enough, Greg, the proceeds from tonight's 50-50 raffle donated to childhood cancers as well. Pretty good stuff here at the ballpark tonight.
Yep, well done too, Robbie. Great job with that. Luis Castillo takes a strike. And Chris Stewart. A lot of charity work, and there's a third strikeout for Cole as he gets his mound opponent. And Jameson Taillon, of course, it is personal for Jameson Taillon. Yep. Battled testicular cancer surgery this season.
And we saw Jameson Taillon up on the big board talking about the devastation in Houston, his neighborhood down in the Woodlands. What must be going through his mind for a lot of people that he knows there.
They're going to go back to playing in Houston tomorrow. Doubleheader against the Mets. And the irony that Matt Harvey would come off the DL.
Matt
and start tomorrow against Charlie Morton, the Astros, in game 1 of the doubleheader. It's incredible. Backing up, nicely done. And a 1-2-3 second for Garrett Cole.
Pirates Baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the largest health system rated #1 in the region for all the things that matter most. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And by Kenny Ross Subaru, total confidence pricing. Let's go Bucks!
It is a 3-0 Reds lead.
You can see the attire has changed here on this cool evening from the last homestand. With the heaters going. So is Castillo.
Who sang that song, Steve? Maybe at least 20 years old. You better get used to it because I'll be around. Remember that song? Don't. Oh, come on.
I don't. I'm very seldom
in the truck
honest
going to help
with
me
you,
out with that? Yeah,
yeah,
I know. Nobody. Crickets.
Oh, Buddy Holly and the Crickets?
No.
No.
It was Roger Voudouris.
Oh, of course.
Remember Roger Voudouris?
Yeah, sure, Raj.
1979. Song called Get Used to It.
Get used to it.
Better get used to it because I'll be around. Well, that's what the Pirates might be saying, or what Castillo might be saying to the Pirates, because he's a young, this is just his 14th major league start. Dominican right-hander, 24 years old. He is going to be around. Tim DeBacco, I guarantee you, knew that. He's the expert there. Public address announcer, going to be a kids PA announcement coming up. There's Timmy D.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Tim, nobody's better than
Greg to his right. Greg probably knows too. In fact, I think Greg feeds Timmy D most of the info.
Yeah.
Come to think of it.
Is there any form of music that Tim is not right on?
No.
And aware of? Say something.
Yep. Nobody better. Headed up the middle on a base hit for David Freese. And let's listen to this young public address announcer.
Batting 6, the right fielder, number 28, John Jaso.
Well done.
Yeah, he's on it.
It's John Jaso and the rest of the players wearing the gold ribbons. The players wearing the gold wristbands, the umpires raising awareness for childhood cancer. Angel Hernandez over there.
It would have been a job to shave John Jaso's head, wouldn't it? They'd still be working on it.
Yeah.
Here in the top bottom of the second.
Ball to striking down 3 runs in the second with Jordy Mercer on deck. That's hit well toward right center. Short hops the wall. Joey Cora gonna wave home, freeze, and he is gonna make it without a play. A double for Jaso, and the Bucks on the board.
Don't shave his head. Leave those locks there and he'll get you an RBI double. And that bounce was wonderful that it stayed right near the wall on the warning track. Because it's not easy to get David all the way around from first base, but it's going to happen.
That's a good read from Pirates third base coach Joey Cora. Watching that bounce that just dies right there. Realizes it's an extra few steps for Schebler. By the time he gets the ball to Jeanette, no play.
And I think early on too, Greg, that Schebler, they looked at him and saw that he had no chance to get it right off the bat, and maybe it gave David a little bit of an early start.
Single double here in the second. Now Mercer.
Who's the Greek god? They shaved his head and took his power away. Is that Atlas? Somebody.
Samson?
Samson, yeah. Somebody back in the day. I think he played for St. Louis.
Yeah. Jordy Mercer has already matched his single season career high, a dozen homers, hit 12 back in 2014. 44 home runs now while playing shortstop in his career with the Pirates. Next home run will be fairly significant because the last Pirates shortstop to hit as many as 13 homers in a season, Pat Mears, 17 years ago, and the team record is 19. Hit by Archie Vaughn in 1935. That's a bit of a long shot maybe, but possible.
Run into a few.
Three and two, and now Luis Castillo being a little bit. You just see that last couple deliveries trying to be too fine, maybe.
Yep.
Not as loosey-goosey early on. That live arm.
Yep. And that's a trap young pitchers, any pitcher can get into it, especially young pitchers. With his stuff, he doesn't have to be fine. He's got that edge of power. And it's an effortless 98 miles an hour when he delivers it. His mechanics are good, and the windup is tight. The stretch from the stretch is tight. He doesn't have to be as careful as some of the so-called non-high-end stuff guys have to be.
Hanging in there, 98. Over toward the camera well. Luis Castillo, first 13 career starts, has yet to give up more than 4 runs in any game, and only a few Reds who've debuted going back to the early 1900s have started their major league careers with longer streaks. Not giving up more than 4 runs in any game. Usually, rookies making their first handful of starts, 5, 10, 15 starts, you're going to get hammered in a couple of them. That hasn't happened yet for Castillo.
And you'd love to get a hit here, driving a run, absolutely, but you wouldn't mind ball 4 also, because now you got a little package going. You got the base hit, the RBI double, another man on base. Keep him away from recording that first out as long as you can.
To the left side, Cozart. Jaso has to hold at second. Castillo finally retires Mercer, and now it's Chris Stewart. Chris Stewart has started each of the last 4 games. Hitless in his last 9 at bats.
Well, up in the top of your screen there, starting toward a full moon, heading in that direction.
Francisco Cervelli seems to be close to returning. And what could be Chris Stewart's final month in a Pirates uniform.
Chris involved in that head shaving project prior to the game. It's not the first year he's done that.
He's in his 4th year with Pittsburgh. They have made him work. Castillo start against Garrett Cole. Went 7. And bounced, just past Votto into right field, and Cora waving home Jaso, and he will score. Aggressive Pirates third base coach Joey Cora.
Yeah, and why not, Greg, huh?
Yep, why not? That's exactly right.
So Chris Stewart far enough behind on that delivery, just got it out of the reach of Joey Votto. Outside, just a little slash, kind of a cut shot. Maybe has enough English to get it to spin away further from the Reds first baseman. And we thought Schebler had a real good chance to get the play at home plate. The ball gets away, done deal.
Good work there. Garrett Cole wasn't a spectator. He might have seen on that shot, telling Jaso to get down. And Chris Stewart picks up his 4th RBI of the season. So Garrett Cole, home run last weekend against Castillo. He has 3 ribbies. Trying to get Stewart to second.
And always the conversation at first base between Votto and Chris Stewart. There's a good look. Get down, get down.
Steve, I guess, on deck hitters even have responsibilities, don't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And pitchers not all the time are aware of that. Get out there, help the guy out. He's looking for home plate and where the catcher is. Help him not just get down sometimes, get down that way or go
direction
left or right. Yep.
Votto, here's somebody yell 2, and safe there. Yep. Apparently off the bag. Joey Votto fires towards second base. And the shortstop Cozart had to come off the bag to field the throw. We heard down below, we'll assume it was Turner yelling 2-2. We can hear it.
Yep, the throw pulled him off, and it's a risky play. They would have had him. On the shortstop side, Pirates stay in action. Good call.
Well, that's a heck of a job by John Tumpane, isn't it? The umpire, to see that.
Yeah. He's looking at the glove.
Man,
and the foot.
That's heck of a job there by John Tumpane.
And of course, our camera folks too, with the Allegheny Health Network.
Oh yeah, you knew they weren't going to miss it.
No,
they don't miss anything.
Yep. No matter how he called it, we were going to get a safe call.
And Tumpane talking to Votto right now, as the Mac Jenkins, the pitching coach, is out to talk to Castillo, maybe try and settle him down a bit, not let him get rattled. Good job on the bunt, the perfect direction by Garrett Cole, and that was a risky play.
I think Josh is out in front there now.
A little bit.
You know, and the thing too, Votto is a right-hand thrower, so he had to come around and square up too. So he was actually moving toward third base, kind of throwing away from his body. So certainly a tougher throw, pick and throw, than it would be for a left-hand throwing first baseman who would have just, you know, just had to turn half as much as Votto did. He's charging, he's got to get the ball and then get the body around so he can make that throw to second base. Risky move.
Chris Stewart digging hard to try and beat that throw, so a lot of stuff happening here in the second inning.
And the pitch count continues to grow for Castillo.
Steve talking about right-handed thrower. There's the back to second base that you're talking about.
Yeah, well, yeah, he makes the turn instead of squaring up. It still takes a while to get where he can make that throw. Guys will come in and just try to get it and turn to the right. He did the whole spin.
Turner calls time. You don't see this with Castillo on the mound, but Asher Wojciechowski is loosening the bullpen.
Throw the bat at it again. Well, Greg, if Nebraska and Wojciechowski gets in there, you're calling the rest of it. I'm staying sad.
Look at this. Look at this.
That's more
with his
action.
Fingertips. Know. You know, with one hand and just the fingertips.
Now, watching him do that and then Josh Bell get out of the way when he's got both feet off the ground, it's never dull.
David Freese started this with a ground single to center field. Josh Bell doubled him home after Mercer grounded out Chris Stewart. That little grounder inside the first base bag to drive in a run, and the sacrificed fielder's choice has 2 on with 1 out. We'll only get 1. Even Garrett Cole goes in to try and break it up. 2 outs.
Left fielder,
Jeanette taking that throw.
There's a hesitation there.
Garrett Cole looking like a ball player. See if Marte can deliver with 2 outs. Cole had to figure that Marte was going to take at least 1 strike. It's been a busy night for Cole already as he gets back to the dugout.
I'd like to see him get this run in for third base, but it looks, for the time being at least, that Garrett Cole's got it under control after a rough start where first 4 batters reached base and they put up a 3 spot. But after that in the first and a tidy second, maybe settled in. So let's get even and start over.
Strikes out Marte. The Pirates get 2 and pulled within 1 after 2 innings. Going to the 3rd inning, as Steve said, on the way to the full moon, and John Jaso driving in one of those 2 runs. And it's now time for AARP's Getting to Know John Jaso, a 2001 graduate of McKinleyville High School in California, offered a scholarship to play at the University of San Diego, but signed a pro contract. His grandfather, Michael Bajo, pitched in the White Sox minor league system back in 1941, 7 years ago, 14th rookie all time to be a primary catcher for a postseason team. He played in 109 games for the Tampa Bay Rays. John Jaso. When the heck was the last time you think he cut his hair? I'm sure a lot of people want to know that. Maybe Robbie has an answer. Robbie?
Well, do you guys have a wild guess you might be able to take on this?
Well, it's at least a couple of years, I would say, right?
Pretty good. Steve, I know you were talking about earlier. What do you think?
4 years.
That is about right. It's about 4 years ago in a recent interview for Inside Pirates Baseball. He sat down with us and said it's been about 4 years the last time he had that haircut. And I was actually having a chat with David Freese about this the other day about John Jaso. You're thinking, hey, what do you think it would take to get him to do it? He laughed. He goes, I don't know, and I don't think I want to know.
John Jaso signed a 2-year free agent contract with the Pirates before last season. Former Tampa Bay Rays, Seattle Mariners, Oakland.
And we're talking about him catching the no-hitter.
Yeah.
King Felix.
Perfect game for Felix Hernandez with Seattle. Strike the first batter after the Pirates pick up 2. Cozart bounces to Harrison.
Greg, the reason I guessed 4 years, that's the last time I cut my hair.
It's only been 4 years.
I just took a shot. Yeah.
Took a shot.
Yeah.
4 years?
Yep. Since, yeah. I was going to grow the dreadlocks out the back, but you know, with the earpiece we have and all that.
How about this? Since we only have a few more games, really.
I know what you're thinking.
What do you think I'm thinking?
That I should.
How about if we get you, Zach will work on this, won't you, Zach? Get him some dreads, some fake dreads. Would you wear them for one of our opens?
If you will.
Sure.
If you
oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be they would be dreadful dreads.
I understand. Yeah. So we'll have to do a dreads night.
Maybe not.
No. Okay.
There we are. That's what I want. That's a statement right there.
Now, how about getting to know Zach, our stage manager, as Prado bounces out to the end. We got a little, as you say, string of pearls going here. But did you know that Zach had dreads?
Did you? How long ago? How long ago? How long ago did you have the? 7 years ago?
Do you have a picture? Can you hashtag Bucks Booth, please? We're getting the thumbs down. Can we order Zach to send us the picture?
So he's supposed to do whatever
Point Park University tweet.
Say, yeah.
I wonder if Kevin or Becky, whoever's in the truck working that could work some magic. I bet we can find that picture of Zach and dreads. I'm going to turn that baby around right now, Steve.
Not easy. They know what they're doing. Zach, I am so impressed. The dreads. You're probably a big fan of Bob Marley, too.
Oh, yeah. Heck, how many years has it been since Andrew McCutchen cut his? Is it 3 seasons now without him?
I think so.
It was a spring training. He announced that he was going to cut the dreads. And Josh Bell and John Jaso still have them. And one infielder on the right side against Adam Duvall, and he hits it to the right of Josh Bell. Another guy that had dreads many years ago. In our studio, Dan Potash for the game break.
For Kyle Schwarber with the swinging bunt down the third base line. Yes, he's safe. Hey, whatever works. Throw home not in time. As Javier Baez scores from second to give the Cubs a 1-0 lead, and that would be the difference as the Cubs shut out Atlanta 2-0, your final.
Thank you, Dan. John Lackey pitched 7 innings of 3-hit shutout ball, get his 11th win, and Wade Davis his 28th save.
I'm tired of seeing Baez come from third base and score. Didn't like it against the Pirates.
Wild pitch. Yeah, that was just ugly in every sense of the word, that series. And that steal of home on Wednesday night at Wrigley. Scores and some games later tonight on the lowdown.
That sounds like very, very Texan, doesn't it? The lowdown. It's like David Cohn's Laredo delivery. The lowdown, Laredo.
Scooter Gennett at 2-1 count.
Close. Eric wanted it, didn't get it. How close was it? Not enough to get the call.
And number 4 there. The W.B. Mason strike zone. And into center. And it is a 4-2 game.
And that one hurts. 2 quick outs, and the base hit, a wild pitch, and they get one of them back. Downstairs, not a bad pitch, not a bad location. Good piece of hitting by Scooter Gennett, who seems to continue to want to torture the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And hitting .400 in his career now against Garrett Cole. '82 RBIs for Scooter Gennett. You're talking about the quiet season that Duvall is having, but how about Gennett?
Yep.
Pretty much cast aside by the Brewers at the end of spring training and picked up by his hometown team, the Reds.
That's kind of Brett Boone stuff. Remember back in the day when middle infielder Brett Boone, he was a second baseman, hitting all those home runs back in that era.
Eugenio Suarez struck out his first time.
Well, both these starters running up a pretty good pitch count.
Cole struck out 3 batters in the first couple of innings. The last 2 outs in the first, including Suarez fanned. He struck out his mound opponent Castillo, the second batter he faced in the second inning. Down goes Suarez for a second time tonight, but the Reds get one of those runs back. They're up 4-2 now. Of the third. Kids Day this Sunday when this series concludes against the Reds. Fun starts on Federal Street with the Family Fun Zone. All kids 14 and under get a Pirates fitness band thanks to Highmark, and after the game kids can run the bases on the field. Get to pirates.com/kidsdays for tickets. First of 3 with Cincy. The Cubs come to town for 4 starting on Monday, Labor Day game at 4:05.
Hey, school's back in, but it's Friday night.
Yeah.
Sleep in tomorrow. Well, Greg, you get the feeling this ball game is not going to end up 4-2. So hang in there, Buccos. Get it back.
Called third strike. Point Park University tweet. Zach Scovira, our stage manager. I don't regret the hair. I only regret bringing it up. So thank you, Zach. You owned up to it. Hashtag Bucks Booth.
I'll tell you, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is. How about that, Zach?
I'm pretty impressed. I am.
Impressed and jealous.
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Somebody said it looks like he was on Survivor there.
Which I think is a little harsh. I thought, Zach,
look at that.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. That's pretty studly, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll never live it down.
I think he said he bought that necklace from a street vendor in Manhattan.
Nice.
Last trip you were in New York.
Nice.
Yeah. Said it was a Rolex necklace. A lot of things about Zach I didn't know.
Yeah.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Zach Scovira. Yes, sir.
On the job. On the job.
Back-to-back Ks. In fact, that's 3 in a row now for Castillo. Got Marte to end the second. And he strikes out McCutchen looking to begin the third. Bell swinging, and here's David Freese.
Yep. Took a little something off the fastball. Had Josh out in front. Maybe he's figured something out.
Freese single to start the second, scored on a John Jaso double.
In on the hands with a lot of heat. Maybe the beginning of some dreadlocks on the back of Castillo there. Got a ways to go.
It'll take a long time. A lot of.
That's right. You got to be serious
big
about
commitment,
it.
right?
Yep.
Maybe starting there, huh?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Another foul. Speaking of a long time, how about being a Pirates fan for a long time? How about a guy who turned 100 years old yesterday, Bill Tingle of Lower Burrell. So happy birthday, Bill.
Indeed.
Big celebration they're watching tonight. Hey, there's, how about the Phil Coyne Day here? Was it 2 days ago? I believe the city of Pittsburgh honored Phil Coyne.
I didn't see that.
I think it was just 2 days ago.
Well deserved. Oh.
I know Frank Coonley was on hand to honor him downtown.
Phil Coyne Day.
81 years as an usher.
Amazing.
So 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates, and there is the great Phil Coyne.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
Well, just before we went to break, before the top half of the 4th inning begins, Greg and Steve were talking about the legend of Phil Coyne, which brings us to this Point Park University tweet. Yeah, Phil loves giving those thumbs up. What a wonderful, wonderful man that he is. But this Point Park University tweet was sent from David Kaplan of WTAE, 99 years old, 81 years, a Pirates usher, World War II vet, 2 Oreos with a glass of milk before bed every night. Phil Coyne Day in Pittsburgh, that was on Tuesday. Now, he was honored in front of almost 50 family members and friends, and as you mentioned, Pirates president Frank Coonelly was one of them. 1936, his first year. Brownie, you mentioned it, 81 years with the team. That's over 6,000 games. So if you're ever hanging out between sections 26 and 27 down the third base line, stop by and say hi to Phil. I'd love to see you. Get a photo with him. And Councilman Dan Gilman, guys, is the one who made this happen. And he had a very quick answer when describing why he did this. And I quote, "Phil's a legend, to put it simply." How about that? Phil Coyne Day. Can't wait to see him next year in April when he turns the big 100.
Yeah, how about that, Robbie? And that's so great. You know, Frank Coonelly said they were going to welcome him back for his 82nd year as an usher when he'll turn 100. Pirates gave Phil Coyne a team jersey on his 99th birthday this past April. Had 99 on it. He said, I guess they don't think I'll make it to 100. They had 99 on it. Look, Pittsburgh history right there.
Absolutely looking forward to next year with Phil.
Bottom third of the order, Schebler. See if Freese has enough room here. Nope. Schebler struck out in the first.
Garrett trying to come all the way back from the 3-0 count. Bottom third of the batting order. A Major League Baseball. Always fun.
Leadoff walk. Cole didn't walk anybody his last time out against the Reds. He's walked 2 tonight. See that pitch count sitting at 63. We had a tweet earlier that we were reading between innings, wondering about Garrett Cole's pitches per inning this season and in his career. In that first inning, he does seem to rack up a bunch. He's averaging this year 17.22 pitches per first inning. He's got 29 tonight in that first, and actually a little bit more this year in the second inning, averaging 17.6 pitches in the second frame. 15 in third, 16.8 in the fourth. If you can manage those early innings, get a chance to go deep into ball games.
Yeah, you don't want to set a tone in the first inning. 20 pitches is not what you want in that, anywhere in that neighborhood.
Chance for 2. Got it.
Pitch and catch. Sharply hit to David Freese. Over to second, back to first, no problem with that. And that cleans this up. Now you get Castillo. So it all turns back to the advantage for Garrett after walking the leadoff man here in the 4th inning. How quickly things change. I'll tell you, Greg, pitchers pay attention when they're working down toward the bottom of the lineup in the National League. You pay attention, and 7, 8, 9, and then you go out there fairly optimistic about a quick inning, but then you walk that number 7 man. It is frustrating.
How frustrating is this?
More
Falling
so.
behind the pitcher 3-0.
More so.
Is there anything more frustrating?
No. No.
Especially to a pitcher who, I mean, he's just gotten his feet wet in the big leagues. 2 for 26. You struck him out his first time. Now, some pitchers can hit a little bit, but there should be no contest.
And then you've got to fight. Now, if I get it, I got to come all the way back, throw a bunch more pitches. So, but you got to go to work pitch by pitch now, not let this happen, and not even close. That sometimes prompts a trip to the mound by your pitching coach, because he's hot right now. 2 walks. And
But just get the double play and you walk the pitcher.
Yep, and you should be in the dugout now. Just as frustrating for, well, not just as frustrating for Ray, but frustrating. Yep. Bottom part of the order, and you walk 2 out of the 3. The bottom part of the order.
Well, this is a weird thing to say, but the one way to slow down Billy Hamilton is put the pitcher on first base.
Yes.
I know you're not trying to do that, but it's kind of comical because
yeah.
there's a ground ball deep to an infielder. You have no chance against Hamilton when he's got nobody on. But now, middle infielder can get an out at second. That is, if you throw a strike to Hamilton. It's 2-0. Ball in the gap. Castillo will slow down this speedster.
A rather disjointed first 3+ innings for Garrett Cole. It's just amazing when you look at this pitching matchup and you remember what they did last week. Well, we could be in for another treat. And so far, this game's just gone sideways.
Interesting to note that Billy Hamilton, when runners are on base this season, is hitting .229. With nobody on, he's hitting .254.
He loses interest with his speed.
With nobody on and nobody out, he's hitting .300. Well, they get the lead man. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Reds up 4-2.
Pirates baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel. We'll beat anybody's price. Find out more at barrel.com. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
UPMC scoreboard 4-2 in favor of the Reds. Head to the bottom of the fourth. There's a cool lid. There's a cool kid. Legs, happy birthday.
Another cool lid. Whatever that is.
It is Childhood Cancer Awareness Day here at the ballpark. Kelly Fry battling breast cancer throughout the ceremonial first pitch. She has been so courageous and always that smile. Kelly Fry, the Channel 4 news anchor who has gone public with her personal battle.
Courageous lady, like so many.
Colin Dunlap of 93.7 The Fan was out there on the field before the game. His 5-year-old daughter Darren diagnosed with cancer in November. Two and two. Point Park University tweet. Colin himself tweeted out this picture of his daughter Darren with shortstop Jordy Mercer.
You know, it's the disease itself is so cruel, and when it involves children, it's just wrenching. It's just absolutely wrenching.
Jaso thought that might have been ball forward, catches the outside corner. So Castillo gets the strikeout before the game. There's Aaron Dunlap meeting Jordy Mercer and checking out the parrot along with the rest of some of the youngsters, and a hug. Mercer toward Hamilton. Almost all the way into right field.
You know, the parrot wins a lot of those matchups with the children.
Yeah. Upstages even Jordy Mercer. There's Stewart with that RBI inside the first base bag in the second inning that brought home John Jaso.
Five pitches.
And that's the one thing you have to figure in the Reds with a full bullpen. They called up a handful of players. September 1st call-ups, and Wojciechowski is getting ready. Figure on a cool night, Brian Price with his young pitcher, not going to risk much. His early big league career, just his 14th major league start. Reds will be very careful. He is pretty much a lock along with Homer Bailey to be part of their 2018 rotation. From there, well, several possibilities to round out the starting five, including Sal Romano,
who we'll see Sunday.
Tyler Mahle, also going to be involved in spring training and possibility of being one of the starting five. Stewart down on strikes. 5 Ks, 9 in a row, retired by Castillo. Reds up by a couple. Great shots from the Allegheny Health Network Super Mode. The sounds of Eternal Boy, our featured artist tonight on Friday Night Rocks. MLB.tv every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Enthusiastic bunch as Garrett Cole takes the mound for the 5th inning and faces the 2, 3, 4 men in the batting order. Zach Cozart, then Joey Votto and Adam Duvall. Cozart, one of the 2 walks issued. Toward the stands.
Rocks are flying. And Garrett Cole out in front 0-2.
One ball, 2 strikes. Cole has handled Cozart in the past, and well, he walked him in the 1st. He did retire him in the 3rd, so Cozart is 1 out of 13 lifetime against Cole. Joey Votto on deck, came in a .200 career hitter against him, and he'll be retired again for the 1st out. And it'll be Joey Votto, who doubled in a run in the 1st and grounded out his last time up. We mentioned what happened yesterday with Joey Votto hitting the home run against the Mets in Cincinnati, and 6-year-old Walter Herbert, Super Bums, got the high five, the bat, the gloves from Joey Votto, jersey. He is battling a form of pediatric cancer. His dad said after the game about that moment that those are the days you remember when you have the tough days. And Votto was asked about it in the clubhouse afterward, and he really didn't want to talk about it. He just it's a personal thing with Joey, and that young man, Walter Herbert, and someone said, well, you should have seen the smile. It made his day. And he said that's what counts. Very professional.
Yeah, and you know, it's amazing how comfortable a lot of major league athletes in all sports are comfortable with the kids.
Yes.
As opposed to being comfortable with the adults.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of a neat thing.
Well, that's what I think, Steve, what made that Little League Classic so neat, to your point, amidst all the kids at Williamsport a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the innocence,
the
you know, when, I don't know, any adult maybe, the innocence of the kids.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're immediately comfortable with them, and it's just, it's usually a very, very genuine, legitimate thing, and it's nice to see and nice to watch.
Seeing the interactions of Andrew McCutchen with young fans throughout his career. 2-1. He thought that was a strike.
Andrew,
like, where's that pitch? And now Cole gets a call.
So kind of even.
Well, 1, 2, 3 for the second time tonight for Cole. Halfway through it, 4-2, Cincy. Out in front here in Pittsburgh for the first of this 3-game series. Our day automotive this day in Pirates history. This day 1971 history was made. First ever all-black lineup. Danny Murtaugh had Doc Ellis start the game. And look at the rest of the lineup, which included Rennie Stennett, Gene Clines, Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Manny Sanguillen, Dave Cash, Al Oliver, Jackie Hernandez, and Doc Ellis. And the Pirates defeat the Phillies 10-7.
Remember it well.
This day in 1971. Remember reading about that, Steve, and the commotion after the game, and Danny Murtaugh was kind of like very matter-of-fact about it. So I just put the best 9 I had available.
Quote unquote, yep. He diffused the whole thing. It was still a big deal, very, very big deal. You know, it was really emphasized too that there was a book written, The Team That Changed Baseball, by one of the gentlemen, I should know the name of the author, in Cooperstown. Talked to us a lot about that, and talked to Dave Cash and Al Oliver, got quoted a good bit about it.
Asher Wojciechowski is the new pitcher.
I wonder if they call him Wojo like back in the
Oh,
days
sure.
of Barney Miller.
Oh, guarantee you.
The detective Wojo. Yeah, Al Oliver said, I didn't think too much about it till they started talking to us after the game, and Dave Cash kind of echoed that. It was
1971.
It was a diverse group, almost a third black, a third white, a third Latino. I mean, there was a pretty good distribution on that baseball team.
Garrett Cole sends one to right center, which it's a reaction from the crowd, but Schebler is there.
And if you want to talk about figureheads of a baseball team, and I hesitate to say leaders, but guys that really set a good example of how to play the game and how to be good Pirates. A third Latino, black and white. How about the leaders? Maz, Clemente, Stargell. I mean, pretty good guys. Maybe if you would at the top of those diverse groups. And it was a rowdy clubhouse, but it was good talent, and there was a good vibe in there. Because of the success, we were good. It was quite a group. Quite a group.
Al Oliver talked about that night. He said, "Yeah, it wasn't a major thing until around the third or fourth inning." And Dave Cash was sitting next to me, and one of us said, "You know, we got all brothers out there, man." We really had no idea that history was being made. What Al Oliver said, kind of chuckled because it was no big deal to us.
We did have quite a group with the Doc Ellises and the Hebners and Robertsons, Bob Johnson. It was not dull in that clubhouse. It wasn't too dull on the field either.
Steve Blass, of course, part of that 1971 World Series team. Big part of that team as Harrison bounces out.
That was the year Doc Ellis, if I'm not mistaken, was something like 17-3 in the All-Star break. And they were going to speculate that Vita Blue was going to start for the American League, and Doc was going to start. And Doc said, "Ain't no way they're going to start two brothers in the All-Star game. Ain't no way."
And they did.
And they did. And Doc gave up that titanic home run to Reggie Jackson. That was about as good a start to a season as you could imagine. I think he was either 14 or 17. I might be exaggerating, but it was a heck of a record going into the break. Sometimes people get lost in the fact that Doc was so controversial and forget how good a pitcher he was. Great major league career.
Yeah, it's almost like the controversy that sometimes he initiated affected that aspect of it that did get lost in it, how good he was.
Yeah. And even when he left the Pirates, he did some good work for the Yankees, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The late Doc Ellis.
Yep. Of course, the no-hitter in San Diego that he said he pitched on LSD, which I still don't believe. But he certainly got a lot of mileage out of it.
He finished his career back with Pittsburgh in 1979. The Pirates reacquired him in that World Series year. He pitched 3 games that year for the Pirates.
I had forgotten that. I had forgotten that he came back.
Pirates bought him from the Mets toward the end of September of 1979.
But to hear Doc go back and forth with Hebner and Robertson in that clubhouse, you thought they were going to kill each other.
Yeah. It's kind of like, Steve, I think, you know, similar to what happened in 1979. And you know, the back and forth between Phil Garner and Dave Parker. Ed Ott would get involved in that. Of course, Captain Willie Stargell was kind of the settling force, but he would stir the pot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Willie would stir it and then settle it down and stir it again.
Back off.
And you don't do this, that sort of thing, unless you have a degree of affection and respect.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's based just on that. It's like a family. You can, in the home, you can rip to shreds your siblings.
Oh.
Physically, frankly.
You should know too.
I do.
All the brothers.
But once you leave that house, or in this case the clubhouse,
I can do it, but you can't.
That's right.
Yeah. It is. Almost every family has brothers. Talk about childhood that just beat on each other, but nobody else does.
Trying to get something started here with 2 outs, and Marte is trying to measure Wojciechowski here. Marte has 13 steals and 15 attempts.
You know, we would start rumors in that clubhouse. I'd go out and tell somebody, maybe that was involved with the club on the perimeter. I said, you should have seen it in there. Hebner went after Ellis with a tire iron. and the chains, I saw knives come out, and we wanted to see how far that story would go. And sometimes it got pretty good traction.
Well, the perfect time for a pitch out, and the perfect strike from Turner to get Marte and end the bottom of the 5th. The biggest news just before midnight, the Astros acquired Justin Verlander from the Tigers. He will make his debut on Tuesday. Angels pick up Justin Upton from the Tigers, and Brandon Phillips, the longtime Cincinnati Reds second baseman, acquired from the Braves. Leonis Martin was acquired by the Cubs from the Mariners. So those players all now available for the postseason. They were acquired before the end of the July 31st deadline. Scooter Gennett, who has settled in as the starting second baseman. Brandon Phillips was dealt to Atlanta, and it was because of the car accident that Sean Rodriguez and his family were involved in, and this ball hit well. Oh! He almost caught it. He kept it in the ballpark. Andrew McCutchen has said that's one of 2 things on his wish list. A great ovation, and the concern now is for McCutchen. Did he pull anything? He's wincing maybe more because he didn't hang on to it. He wanted it so badly to rob a home run. Well, he did. Almost got the out.
Planting that foot and almost brings it back. It rolls along the top. That close.
Yeah, that was dicey. That was almost a great catch. It was almost, he almost knocked it over.
Yeah.
that would have been a worse feeling for McCutcheon. But what an effort. He tried to bring it back.
Really got up in the air.
Yeah, he did. How much does a pitcher appreciate that, Steve?
A lot. Yep. You're trying to keep it together. You're down 2. And now they're on the doorstep. That close to being a spectacular out to lead off the 6th.
Broken bat.
Well, he's got Suarez a couple of times. As you look again at Andrew, yeah, he almost rolled it over with the glove. You're right.
It was not going to have home run distance, but that would have been, I think that would have been his best ever. He's had some memorable grabs. Garrett Cole, tip of the cap to his teammate.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to see.
Thank you for that effort.
Keeping that awareness going, Garrett. What they try to do for you. And now looking for a strikeout. He's gotten Suarez the first couple of times, and he's got him 1 and 2 here.
But that run will score anyway. Sacrifice fly. Reds take a 5-2 lead, and it brings up Scott Schebler. Breaking news on the lowdown. Clayton Kershaw starts tonight for the first time since July 24th.
He's just 15 and 2.
We were talking before the game about, now that we're into the final month, we'll really be discussing individual awards. We're focusing in a lot on Josh Bell as A.J. Schugel gets ready in the Pirates pen. And does Bell have any chance surpassing Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers for Rookie of the Year? Going to be a little bit closer maybe than we thought a couple months ago. Bellinger was just activated off the disabled list, but we were also chatting about Cy Young Award, and Clayton Kershaw back tonight. You look at his numbers, he figures to finish up strong in September, and he could pick up another, despite the fact he's missed all that time. Scott Schebler, the Reds up by 3. Cole approaching 100 pitches.
Figures to be his last inning. A.J. Schugel getting ready.
Probably has to get each batter. He needs to get an out here and then the next man to stay in the ball game. And he gets Schebler.
Number 6 on the strikeout list. Number he had last week. Way out in front. Breaking ball. Waved at.
Stuart Turner able to check his swing.
Appeal denied.
Appeal granted, but
yeah,
swing denied. Angel Hernandez involved in the controversy a couple weeks ago with Ian Kinsler coming out and making some derogatory comments about the job that Hernandez has done. And there's you got a nice job by McCutchen for that effort. 5th run comes in. It's 5-2.
Is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Cool night in Pittsburgh for the first game of this 3-game series with the Reds. Or the Cubs come in for 4. Labor Day afternoon game this Monday against Chicago. And Garrett Cole, his pitching coach, goes 6 innings and gives up 5.
Jameson Tyone over relating with Garrett. See him tomorrow. Joe working his 2nd inning. He has done a little bit of everything for the Reds. Some starting, some relieving. Eight starts, actually. That wasn't working too well. 8 starts, 13 home runs, good enough.
Josh Bell to follow. And off the glove, took a little skip. A shot off of Suarez's glove.
Ball coming up, maybe a little overspin on it. Yep, off the thumb and to left field.
Here's Josh Bell. The Pirates and Reds tomorrow. First 20,000 fans get a Josh Bell t-shirt thanks to Xfinity. Head to pirates.com/free shirt Saturdays for your tickets tomorrow night. First 20,000 get one of those Josh Bell t-shirts. They give Andrew McCutchen a hit. He'll certainly take that. Months ago for Josh Bell. Some personal goals, rookie records for the Pirates in his sights. The National League rookie record for switch hitters. One more. That's a new National League mark.
He's on the correct side of home plate. He's hit most of them as a left-hand hitter.
Also has a chance to become the first Pirate rookie to lead the Bucks in RBIs since Dale Long did it in 1955. He's 3 up on McCutchen currently.
Now sitting in a nice spot count-wise, 3-1. But missed it. Didn't miss it by much, but missed it. And Greg, while we have a moment, just want to send along good well wishes to Ed and Donna Tatko, really good friends out in the South Hills, both with some health issues, both this week, and we wish them the best. They're good people and speedy recoveries.
Absolutely.
Ed and Donna.
David Freese 1 for 2.
Talk about being ready. Hanging over the railing. You got the uni on, got a little warmth underneath. He got the sweatshirt going on. He's ready. He came to the ballpark prepared.
(2-0) on Freese. Yeah, Major League Baseball Childhood Cancer Awareness Night. All teams wearing the bright gold ribbons. Some players wearing the gold wristbands. Wojciechowski falling behind 2-0.
John Tumpane. High breaking ball, dangerous area, but he gets away with it. You know, sometimes we forget that the umpires are human beings, and John Tumpane really reminded us of how wrong we can be at times. We're kind of hard on the umpires, but a lot of class delivered by that young man right there.
And just a good human interest story. I mean, just a neighbor helping neighbor. As Freese goes down swinging. Speaking of that, hope you'll consider donating to assist those affected by the heartbreaking devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey. You can visit youcaring.com/Pirates Charities. Pirates Charities will match the first $25,000 donated through the website. Every donation helps. Go to youcaring.com/Pirates Charities. Jamison Tyone, as Steve mentioned earlier. His family and friends affected, certainly. Houston suburb of the Woodlands, where he grew up.
just astonishing when you start measuring rain in feet instead of inches.
Yeah. And baseball will return to Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas tomorrow for a doubleheader with the Mets. That'll be it. Wojciechowski has 2 scoreless heading to the 7th. Earlier we saw Gregory Polanco taking some swings during batting practice. Our Allegheny Health Network injury update as he appears closer, coming off the DL 3 times on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. Cervelli will be coming back soon. Today, Wade LeBlanc and Joaquin Benoit rejoin the bullpen off the disabled list, and it's a fireworks night. Barges, boats getting ready. A.J. Schugel takes over for Garrett Cole.
He's getting ready. 3-0 with a 2.28 ERA. He's done a good job. Got touched up as everybody else did Wednesday against the Cubs. Gave up 3 runs in 1 inning. But other than that, A.J. Schugel has done a really good job. (17-3). Nobody escapes.
No. Garrett Cole went 6 and gave up 5 runs. Zach Vinci is one of a handful of players recalled from AAA Louisville today as the rosters can expand. So here he is. A crazy thing that baseball does. Kind of bizarre. Month of September, all of a sudden you can go from 25 men to 40 for a month.
It gets pretty hectic when you start taking a major league team that's a lot more than 25 players. You already got a huge traveling party, and then you got locker room space, you got uniforms, you got it's busy.
And the game changes everything.
Oh yeah.
And September is different. Major league debut for this man. Trying to beat out an infield hit. Won't. And he's retired as he pinch hit for Wojciechowski. to wait for another AB to get that first big league hit. Schugel will now go after Billy Hamilton, who singled to start the ball game, and that led to 3 runs. All the attention paid. He ended up stealing his league-leading 56th base. Josh Bell went almost too far to his right, but scrambled back to get him.
Yeah, and it's never simple when Billy Hamilton is running, and you flinch for a minute thinking that Josh might have committed too far. Here's the sharply hit ball, wide of Bell. Oh, got to do the return. And
good communicating. You see Josh Harrison nodding. If Jay Hay yelled, "I got it." Zach Cozart.
A.J. Schugel with his 93-mile-an-hour fastball and a really good changeup. Very much a signature pitch for him. Starts him off with a couple of fastballs.
Off-speed pitch there, yep. 2-1.
That was it. Hides it very well. Similar motion, mechanics of the fastball.
Schugel did a nice job with the Pirates last season. Was not with the club at the beginning of this year. Team broke camp, but overall, you look at this season, last year, he's been one of the more consistent, quiet relievers.
Yeah, when you're looking at the makeup of the Pittsburgh Pirate bullpen next year, I got to think, unless trade or different things happen, that he would certainly be a strong candidate.
It was almost an upset that he didn't come with the club north this season. When you look at his body of work from last year and a called third strike. And he has a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. He's going to talk to Ted Barrett. Is Zach Cozart. Reds lead by 3. Did in Garrett Cole. First 4 batters reached. This Joey Votto double brings home Billy Hamilton. Adam Duvall over the head of Andrew McCutchen. 2-run double. 3-0. Then in the Pirates half of the second, John Jaso delivered a double that brought in David Freese, who started the inning with a base hit. Chris Stewart and found the opening on the right side of the infield to bring home Jaso. In the 3rd inning, Scooter Gennett, a 2-out single that brought home Adam Duvall to make it 4-2. And in the 6th, Jeanette, Andrew McCutchen almost robbed him of extra bases. Jeanette would score in a sacrifice fly. And Garrett Cole showing his appreciation for Andrew McCutchen's effort, but that run would score, and on the UPMC scoreboard it is 5-2. Pirates are 4-9 against the Reds this year, including winning 2 of 3 last weekend in Cincinnati, but the Reds have won 5 of the 6 games played here in Pittsburgh. Scooter Gennett, RBI single, a triple, and a run scored. Now the only lefty in their bullpen, Wandy Peralta.
He replaces Wojciechowski, who went 2 scoreless. A walk, a hit, a strikeout. Wonder where Wandy Rodriguez is these days.
Wandy Rodriguez, the former Astros left-hander the Pirates acquired. He bounced around with a couple of teams after the Pirates let him go. He was always tough on the Pirates.
He was. We got kind of excited when we got him because he wasn't the biggest guy in the world, but there was a time he was a good-looking pitcher.
Leos Diaz is going to pinch hit. This is kind of becoming a routine. The Pirates trailing in a ball game. They will pinch hit Diaz with Stewart due up, and Diaz will stay in the game. We start looking toward 2018, of course, now for this month of September. That's what this month will be about for the Pirates. And the makeup of the catching situation.
Yeah, a lot of categories. Bullpen, a lot of auditions.
What are they going to do with the catching situation? Figuring Chris Stewart probably not coming back. Not determined yet, but we'll see. The Pirates just do not feel that Diaz is ready. At least some of the starters have made Stewart the kind of the preference for now in terms of game calling, pitch framing, and all the defensive metrics. So Chris Stewart doing a lot of catching. Diaz is out, number 2. If Diaz had reached, then Hurdle would call on Jose Osuna. Instead, he's going to go with Jordan Luplow. Looking for his first major league hit. 0 for 11. He has reached base once in the big leagues. That was courtesy of a free pass.
Clean top of the 7th for Schugel.
And a clean bottom of the 7th inning for Peralta. Leonidas Neverauskas will work the 8th. Friday Night Rocks, that's Eternal Boy. Featured artists for Friday Night Rocks. 5-2 Reds going to the 8th here. And Elias Diaz remains in the ball game to catch. And it is Dovydas Neverauskas making his 12th Major League appearance.
Picked up that first Major League win. Got a loss, 2.77 ERA. A couple of scoreless appearances since coming back to join the big league team. And he'll work here in the top of the 8th inning following Cole, who went 6, giving up 5, and Schugel, who went an inning, recording a strikeout. Scoreless 7th, and now Neverauskas.
And Joey Votto, who has doubled, grounded out, and flied out. Well, Steve and I chatted before the game with Jason Seal, our producer, about who we think the leading candidates are for MVP.
You got some good ones.
Yeah, it's just our list. We'll think. Who do you think the front runner? If the season ended today, Steve?
It's the age-old discussion of what you do for the team or individual accomplishments. I'll tell you, off that list, looking at that chart, I'm kind of leaning toward Paul Goldschmidt.
Hard to go wrong with that guy.
I mean, yeah, the average, the home runs, the RBIs, what the team has done in terms of hanging in there for wild card stuff. Stanton has been spectacular with the home runs. Blackman maybe down in the RBIs, but not by. I mean, that's a heck of a list. You could build a pretty good ball club. Anthony Rizzo, we've talked about this before. Putting a ball club together, if you had to pick a player, I mean, there's a lot of those guys on that list you couldn't go wrong with, but you cannot go wrong with Anthony Rizzo either. I mean, he's got that kind of presence along with the production. It's an interesting discussion.
Goldschmidt has finished twice second in MVP voting, including 2013 when Andrew McCutchen won it. Votto putting up great individual numbers. It's hard to win an MVP when your team, you know, right now the Reds are in last in the Central. He's having a good individual season, but
does it? How do you elevate your team?
Yeah, I mean,
or is it most valuable in terms of numbers, just flat out stats? It's
age-old question, right?
It is. It's an annual discussion.
Andrew McCutchen, MVP, and Pirates went to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years.
Dovydas Neverauskas.
Pitching the 8th inning, Juan Nicasio gone, so we're going to try Neverauskas, though. We'll kind of temper any enthusiasm this month because general managers throughout history have said the 2 worst months to evaluate major league players, September and March.
Yep. You know, you could almost add a third. April is a little bit tough. Spring training is crazy.
Yeah, that's the March.
Yeah, that's the March.
And September with all the call-ups, and a lot of times you're not playing contenders. And here's an instance right here. Though, I mean, they'll take a look at individual matchups. How Neverauskas faced Votto. We just saw Jordan Luplow fly out. A little bit surprised that Luplow didn't stay in the game to play right. You have to start figuring that this month the Pirates are going to, at some point, see these young guys.
Yeah, and you know, you say a team like the Reds or the Pirates that are struggling, they're going to want to look at players, and they're going to run them out there against. You know, sometimes some of these players are overmatched, and you used to get involved in the integrity of the game too. You want to play your best, and you want to be competitive, and you don't want to have teams looking at you and say, oh well, they didn't play anybody against so and so. You don't want to have that remark made.
Now, wild pitch will move Duvall into scoring position. Jose Osuna had his head shaved today.
Did a good job.
Yeah. With Ivan Nova. Nova is going to have a start skipped. Pirates are thinking that maybe, in fact, Chris Stewart said as much. He said, you can just tell that last start, just see the body is tired. And so the Stephen Brolt getting a start coming up, and there's another hit for Scooter Gennett.
Something against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nissan Road ahead. Tyler Mahle starts his second major league appearance. His first was against Pittsburgh last weekend. Jameson Taillon on the mound for the Bucks. Coverage begins at 6:30 for Game 2 of the 3-game series. Tyler Mahle versus Jameson Taillon, and then Sal Romano against Trevor Williams on Sunday. Before the Cubs come in for 4. Chad Kuhl start on Monday, and Tuesday it'll be Stephen Brolt instead of Ivan Nova.
Brolt finally gets a start.
Pirates are going to wait until Indianapolis finishes up. It's a postseason run. Eddie Barquette and the Indianapolis Indians are in the postseason.
Kind of hope it takes a while, that they go deep into their postseason play.
Adam Frazier's on the disabled list. Runner goes from first to second, uncontested. The fake throw, but the Pirates don't throw down. By the way, Tyler Glasnow started for Indianapolis tonight and went 6 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts.
He's been rolling. Would it be safe to assume that
he'll be here.
Done, they've got to find some things out.
And a base hit. 6-2. Suarez brings home Duvall.
He's getting even after striking out the first 2 at bats. Sac fly, RBI, and now base hit, RBI.
Ray Sirich will go out and talk to the 24-year-old Lithuanian, Dovydas Neverauskas. We saw Neverauskas in spring training. He has been up and down between the Pirates and AAA Indianapolis. The first big league win on August the 6th against the Padres. His big league debut came in April against the Cubs. 13 saves at AAA Indy. First Lithuanian born and raised player to make it to the major leagues. 24 years old, 6'3", 215 pounds. This is Scott Schebler. Schebler, a couple of strikeouts against Cole and a walk. Cole, the Pirates now down 4. Unless they rally, Cole will fall to 11-9. Saved by Diaz. Velasquez was signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Pirates back in July of 2009. Upwards of 3 years down in Bradenton in the Gulf Coast League, and then to the New York Penn League 4 years ago. Eventually climbed the ladder, Pirates minor league system, and that's right off the mitt of Diaz. And another run scores. Could be a pass ball. 7-2.
And the Pirates are hearing it from this crowd as the struggles against these Reds just goes on and on. High fastball. Got to be a wild pitch or a pass ball, doesn't it?
I think so.
Off the glove.
And a walk.
And this is getting to be a mess.
Wade LeBlanc loosens in the Pirates bullpen. I don't think they've ruled that yet. It looked pretty obvious that it was a pass ball, right? Popped right off his mitt.
I didn't write down WP. I got PB.
That's what I got.
Yep, pass ball.
PB. Nope, WP. It's a wild pitch.
Yep. Here we go, Pearl.
Yep. Hit to Bell. 1-2.
That was well done. Good throw by Josh Bell. Cleans up the mess, but damage done. As you see on the UPMC scoreboard, Josh Bell turning a good double play. And we got to the ballpark. You saw Josh out there working on that throw, getting the ball, making that turn in that direction, which gives him kind of a more comfortable angle to turn on the glove side rather than turn the other way and just try to square up the body. And well, certainly looked like maybe it did some dividends on this last play. Well done. That wasn't an easy double play to turn. Neverauskas getting over there to cover. Good looking play, but still tough situation for the Pirates. Drew Storen on, working his 58th game with a big lead.
To right, Schebler, wow, over his head. Josh Harrison, high stepping into second. He's been doing that a lot. He gets a double. He goes high stepping and then into the slide. Loves to play this game.
Power to the opposite field for Josh.
Jay-Hay.
See that ball out in the outer part. Doesn't try to pull it. Gets some good distance to right field off the scoreboard. Here he comes. Oh, yeah. Giving it the stride.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A high stepping and a slide. Leading off with a double over the head of the right fielder. And now Marte. Starling Marte has walked twice and struck out. Pirates would take that even now. Another walk, which doesn't happen very often with it doesn't happen often with Jay-Hay or Marte for that matter. 3 swingers, 26 doubles now for Harrison. This guy, you know, wants to finish strong after a disappointing year in so many ways. Suspended for 80 games. Boy, he might have beaten that out. That was awfully close, but the Pirates not going to challenge apparently.
They want to.
Yeah, but Marte's reaction, he knew he was out. Usually if a guy thinks he's safe, would must have known he was out. Yeah. Angel Hernandez, first base umpire, heard the ball hit the mitt and then the sound of the foot hitting the bag. Allegheny Health Network Supermo. One out. Infield hit for Andrew McCutchen his last time up. Well, actually went into the outfield after it skipped off of Suarez's glove.
I know they keep track of everything, so they would define that as just a base hit because it got to the grass out there, didn't stay in the infield. I know they do keep track of that stuff.
Well, that's probably no. I said that just because I had it on my score sheet. It's just a regular hit off the glove of the third baseman.
PNC Park.
Nice work during the game. We have an artist in our midst. Very nice. What do we got there, Steve?
You got the sketch pad there.
The
PNC.
What's the water? Two. Did she draw the cameraman is the question.
Yeah. I'll tell you, a little breezy up there, I bet.
You draw PNC Park, you have to draw the batter's eye. And oh, there's a diving stop by Suarez. And the out over there is Votto. Fancy footwork. So Suarez was not able to make the play on a McCutchen ground ball in the 6th. This time he robs him in the 8th.
They gave ground and really looking good if they get the out on both ends. Suarez made a great play from the knees. Given ground.
Well done. Both ends.
You give the ground to get out of the way of the runner, so it's really good on both ends. Suarez, that is a strong arm, and Joey able to reach in, but in back of the runner to make the play. A couple of slick plays defensively here for the Pirates on the double play, and that play from 3rd to 1st.
With those little things around that first base bag. For a long time, Steve, it was just assumed that you take your worst defender, you put him at first base, and you'll be okay. But that is
so wrong.
I don't know why that ever came to pass. You know, that theory.
Yeah, there's so much going on. You got bunts, you got relays, you got pickoffs. It's busy. I remember Willie Mays, both Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle tried to play first at the end of their career, and it was
disaster.
Absolutely wrong. It was too busy. They were outfielders. I mean, they're
great athletes, but
yeah, their stuff was pretty well defined out there. It's busy. Taking an outfielder, Hall of Fame outfielder, and putting him on bunt plays, charging in, and then decide, guy hollering at you, 2-2, 1-1. It's not what people think.
3-2 now on Josh Bell.
You don't want your heroes to look bad and get embarrassed. And I remember both of those situations.
I remember, well, Bob Walk and I were talking about this on the road trip. Talking about moving players from positions that they're comfortable with, they're good at. When they tried to move Jason Kendall out of the catcher's spot.
Yep.
And that was just, it was terrible. And as Bob said, Kendall didn't have his heart in it either, which didn't help. I mean, Kendall just absolutely hated the idea, but they wanted his bat in there, and they thought that and he's a good enough athlete that he could take to left field, and it was a disaster.
Yep. Same thing with Manny Sanguillen after Clemente died, trying to play right field.
Yeah.
It just wasn't going to work.
The other way, nearing the line, and drops, and Josh Bell, not that it's a major thing, but he must have thought that ball was going to go out of play. He's going to get an RBI, and that's number 78 for the rookie Josh Bell. 78 runs batted in.
Ball just got knocked down. Kind of inside outs it a little bit, and just was looking. Do you think that ball is going to go foul or something?
He must have thought it was going to foul or out of play.
Yeah.
Bell knows that's a double all the way, but initially thinks it's going out of play. Surprised him. Down by this many runs. Just looking for base runners. David Freese now. Pirates down by 4. Oh, 2 on Freese. And up the middle. Keep it going. Base hit.
We're still having trouble with the Pirates here in the bottom of the 8th as they're making some noise. hard enough hit just past Storen to be out of the reach of Jeanette. Pirates keep it going. And one swing in the bat could make it interesting.
Holmes in the outfield is back by popular demand here this Sunday. Packages include a morning yoga session on the field and a ticket to the Pirates-Reds game, 135, with either $10 in loaded value or a Pirates baseball cap. Go to pirates.com/yoga for more information.
And speaking of yoga, Berra, how about changing positions during the World Series in 1960 from catcher to left fielder when Baz hit it over his head? Ken Ticovey playing left field.
Yeah, that's right. Anniversary of that on this day, right? Back in 1979. Well, you played the outfield, didn't you?
I did. I played left field.
For what, one batter?
For one batter. Helped Elroy Face set a Pirate record, National League record. Appearances with one club, went out to left field against the Braves. One batter. Came in, finished the game, didn't get a complete game or a shutout. Braves never scored. But happy to do it for Elroy, who saved a lot of games. Saved a bunch for me.
Teak. And left. He's ready.
Yeah, he's smart enough to take the sunglasses out with him.
Darrell Evans facing lefty Grant Jackson. Makes the catch. So Chuck Tanner wanted to have Teak still in the ballgame if necessary, if Jackson didn't retire Darrell Evans. Two and two on Jaso.
That was a close pitch right there. I wonder what went through Teak's mind. The ball goes up in the air. You go out there, it's fun every day. You're a pitcher.
Calm, cool.
Yeah, I got it. Called for it.
Three and two.
That's like pitchers who late in ball games are out of hand. Oh, I hope he calls on me to pinch hit or pinch run. Then you go out there. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
With the bat or on the base paths.
Jaso down on strikes. 7-3 ball game.
On AT&T Sportsnet. is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Equinox and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
4-run lead for the Reds. Going to the 9th.
They were looking for some fireworks in the bottom of the 8th. They'll have to wait a little longer. Wade LeBlanc coming on to make appearance number 46. 4 wins.
On the DL since mid-August with the left quad strain, so his first appearance. The first time he had been on the disabled list in his major league career. Patrick Kivlehan will pinch hit.
Fourth pitcher for the evening for the Pirates, Cole Schugel, Nevraskis, and now LeBlanc. Nevraskis gives up a couple of runs in his 1 inning work. 3 hits, he walked a batter, no strikeouts.
One ball, 2 strikes on Kivlehan. Batting for Storen. Taking a look at the scoreboard. Boston leads the Yankees 4-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Red Sox looking to go 5.5 up on the Yankees, and you can see some others. Finals John Lackey pitched very well today against the Braves. Phillies got by the Marlins. Other scores on the lowdown. And a strike 3 called. Giancarlo Stanton 0 for 2 with a couple of walks tonight as September begins. Talking about MVP candidates earlier, and Stanton with 51 home runs with a month to go. What will his total be?
Did I see him quoted as saying that if he gets to 62, he'll consider himself?
Well, he said that he grew up thinking that that's the record.
Yep.
What do you think?
There's something about it I like.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way he handles himself. I think he's pretty professional with the way he handles the attention.
61 home runs hit by Roger Maris of the Yankees in 1961.
Remember the battle, Mantle and Maris going back and forth? I think, did Mickey wind up with 58?
I think so.
It was quite a race.
Yeah. And then the controversy, 1998, Mark McGwire hit 70 to set a new mark, and then 3 years later Barry Bonds hit 73. Billy Hamilton pops out. Again, you know, if Stanton ends up with like 60 homers and going back to that individual word, and the job that he's done has gotten the Marlins back in the postseason conversation, even though they're 6 out as play began today. Keep going back to Anthony Rizzo, though.
Yeah, it's hard not to, and it's hard,
Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and it's hard to bypass Charlie Blackmon.
Yeah,
doesn't he have a ton of triples along with other things?
No, he leads the league in batting. He's
Maybe not triples.
He's got 14 triples.
Okay.
He leads the league in hits, runs, total bases.
14 triples a lot. Is he leading with triples?
He is. You like those triples?
I do like the triples.
Fly ball to center. Catch is made. So we head to the bottom of the ninth.
Triples.
Charlie Blackmon has 14 triples.
And that's good. And he's leading the league.
(7-3) Reds.
And Charlie Blackmon comes on to work the ninth inning.
See if he hits some triples.
Looking for a triple play. Shackelford, fifth pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Storen goes an inning, giving up a run on 3 hits. Walked the batter. I'm sorry, struck out a batter. No walks. Shackelford, the Pirates need to hit for about 15 minutes. That ought to do it. Enough to come up with 5 runs.
We saw their closer up last inning. And Brian Price would have called upon Iglesias. Mauricio Iglesias is their closer and has gotten 4 outs in the past. This is a non-save situation at the moment, but should someone reach? Two or 3. Who knows when Brian Price will decide to bring on Iglesias. Perhaps only when it becomes a save situation. 2 men would have to get on base for that to occur. And Mercer looking to do that here against Shackelford. Castillo only went 4 innings, so he does not qualify.
I think Wojciechowski
would pick up his 4th win. He went 2 scoreless. Robbie, all right?
Yeah, Robbie's going to get the save over there.
Is he?
Wojo gets the win and Robbie gets a save.
We're all good here, guys. No harm, no foul. I think a cameraman got dinged down here, so these guys need to stay awake and turn around and pay a little attention.
You're all right, though, Robbie, yourself.
Alive and well.
Okay.
Happy to report that.
Is that Kevin McCourt down there by him? You all right? One away. Everybody all right? Tomorrow we will return for game 2 of the series. Tyler Valley will make his second career start. Opposes Jameson Tyone. Coverage begins 6:30. Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Jameson Tyone. There's Kevin. He's all right. Diaz bounced out as a pinch hitter in the 7th for Chris Stewart. And on to 3rd. 2 away.
I'll tell you, down in that neighborhood, you're always all right when Dave Nichols has got your back.
Yeah, you're always in good shape. There he is. Max Moroff pinch hitting.
Yeah, it just seems like the beat goes on with the Cincinnati Reds and the Pirates this year. The Pirates 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati, but it's been a tough year for the Bucks against the Reds.
Ball, 2 strikes on Max Moroff. Garrett Cole will fall to 11-9 unless the Pirates rally here with 2 outs. Down to their final strike. Pirates had 3 hits, scored 2 runs in the 2nd, 3 hits, 1 run in the 8th. That's been the offense, and that is the ball game. Reds win it and are now 10-4 against the Pirates on the year and 6-1 here at PNC Park. And the Pirates fall to 63-72 and have dropped 4 in a row.
And Billy Hamilton blew this ball game up in the 1st inning.
Yep. Back to Dan and Teak in the studio.